Shadows of the Asylum. As a seasoned paranormal investigator, I had explored countless haunted locations, but nothing compared to the notorious Blackwood Asylum. Abandoned for over 50 years, it was said to be a place where the tortured souls of patients still roamed, trapped in a never-ending cycle of despair. I gathered my equipment, excitement tinged with trepidation. This was my chance to uncover the truth behind the chilling legends. The moment I stepped through the rusted gates, a sense of foreboding washed over me. The asylum loomed overhead, its crumbling facade and shattered windows resembling the hollow eyes of a long-dead creature. I set up my gear in the central ward, the air thick with the weight of lost memories. My heart raced as I switched on my camera and audio recorder, ready to capture whatever might lurk in the darkness. As night fell, I began my exploration, the beam of my flashlight cutting through the oppressive gloom. I was immediately struck by an eerie stillness, broken only by the distant echo of water dripping and the occasional creak of the building settling. The walls were adorned with peeling paint and remnants of a dark past, whispers of the patients who had suffered here. I ventured deeper into the asylum, my footsteps echoing in the empty halls. In one room, I discovered tattered remnants of patient records, detailing gruesome treatments and unethical experiments. My stomach churned at the thought of the horrors that had taken place within these walls. I felt a shiver run down my spine, as if the very air was charged with the pain of those who had been forgotten. Suddenly, the temperature dropped dramatically. I could see my breath misting in the air, and an overwhelming sense of dread enveloped me. I turned to check my equipment when I heard it. A soft whisper, almost like a gentle sigh. I spun around, but there was nothing. The silence returned, thick and suffocating. As I continued to explore, the whispers grew louder, forming words that sent chills through my body. "Help us! Help us!" The voices seemed to come from all directions, echoing off the walls. My heart raced as I realized I was not alone. I quickly set up an EVP recorder, hoping to capture the spectral voices that haunted this forsaken place. Hours passed, and the whispers transformed into anguished cries. I followed the sound to the old therapy room, where patients had once undergone horrific treatments. The air was heavy, thick with sorrow, and I felt an unseen presence drawing closer. I called out, "Is anyone here? Can you show me you're with me?" A cold breeze swept through the room, and my flashlight flickered ominously. Then a shadow darted across the corner of my vision. I turned, heart pounding, but found only darkness. I felt a wave of panic wash over me, yet a strange compulsion pulled me deeper into the asylum. In the depths of the building, I stumbled upon the old isolation cells. The door creaked open and I stepped inside, my instincts screaming for me to turn back. The walls were marked with desperate scratches, remnants of frantic souls who had clawed at the very fabric of their prison. As I stood in the dim light, the whispers crescendoed into a cacophony of pleas. "Leave, now," a voice warned, gravelly and filled with despair. I felt a cold hand graze my shoulder, and I spun around, but again, there was nothing. The room felt alive with energy, a swirling mass of sorrow and rage. Panic surged within me, but I pressed on, driven by the need to understand the torment that lingered here. Suddenly, the air grew thick with malevolence, and I could see dark figures lurking in the corners, their faces twisted in anguish. I stumbled back, fear clawing at my throat. "What do you want from me?" I shouted, desperation spilling from my lips. The shadows lunged forward, and I felt the weight of their pain crashing over me like a tidal wave. Visions flooded my mind, scenes of suffering, isolation, and madness. I was overwhelmed, unable to distinguish between their memories and my own. I gasped for breath, fighting to escape the horror that threatened to consume me. With a surge of adrenaline, I raced back through the asylum, the whispers now a frantic chorus urging me to leave. The walls seemed to close in around me, the shadows reaching out as if to pull me back into their torment. I burst through the front doors, collapsing onto the overgrown lawn, gasping for fresh air. As I looked back at the asylum, I could see figures behind the broken windows, their hollow eyes watching me. I had come seeking proof of the paranormal, but I had found something far darker, an insatiable hunger for despair that would never be satiated. Though I escaped with my life, I would never forget the souls trapped within those walls. Their whispers would haunt me long after I left, a chilling reminder of the darkness that still lingered in the shadows of Blackwood Asylum.